Hey, baby.
What?
It's odd.
What?
Dude, you don't know what's fucking crazy? So you know how Chappelle got like attacked on stage or whatever, like a week or two ago or whatever that was?
Dude, you're so hip referring to him by just his last name.
What am I supposed to say? You know how Dave got fucking attacked on stage? You guys would be like,
Yeah.
Dave.
That could be any David.
Dave Chappelle, dude.
Okay, you know how Dave Chappelle got fucking attacked on stage like a week or two ago or whatever it was? And then like that, he got like that dude. Did you see the aftermath video? How he got like fucked up, like his entourage.
Yeah,
his arm was like, bro, his arm was straight up. Did you see this video, Eddie?
I didn't see the video.
There's a video of him getting like taken out on like a stretcher from like ambulance or whatever. Dude is sitting on the stretcher. I kid you not, his arm is fucking backwards, and he's like sitting straight forward. His arm is just clicked backwards. Like I can't even twist it all the way. Like it's fucking nuts. And so, but anyways, that's besides the point. He got fucked up. That was crazy. But just a couple days ago, he just got charged with his murders or with his roommate's murder, bro. That same dude. Yeah.
Like he murdered him before or after?
No. It was so. I guess what it was back in like December or something like that. He like his roommate. It was like was murdered, and they've been like investigating this homicide or whatever. And I think it's crazy that like they're just now connecting it to his fucking roommate, the dude that attacked,
because he went viral.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy to think how like this dude had gotten away with it for like a couple months, and then like after this whole thing, they're now like I guess putting the pieces together of like, okay, maybe this dude is fucking insane, and like yeah, but he like just got charged with his old roommate's murder. The guy's fucking capped now. But,
way to bring your fucking attention to yourself, dude.
Damn,
yeah, dude, what a fucking idiot. He just dude. So
I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, they got tickets together. He's like, nah, I'm riding this solo later.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're actually gonna go on tour together. Him and Chappelle are gonna go on tour together. It's gonna be crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I have no other like information other than that. I just like saw that and like kind of like scammed the article. Which means I read the headline of the article and the first like four sentences. I read the first like 4 or 5 sentences, and I was like, "Yep, I got all the info I need to know." That's crazy.
Yep, keywords.
Yeah, so that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's fucked. Holy shit, dude.
Pretty crazy.
Imagine Chappelle reading that. Like, damn, you could have murdered my ass. Fuck no.
So that's
imagine if Dave Chappelle got murdered on stage, dude.
That'd be insane, bro. That would be insane.
What'd you guys do this week?
I worked. And then I worked yesterday. A little side job.
Exciting.
And then I'm probably gonna go check out a side job after this, just chill. But
there you go. Hustle.
Gonna jerk some dude off for a few bucks.
I mean, maybe if his like wife is into that, I guess.
Couple dollars.
Could be chill.
Reverse cuck where she's watching.
Yeah, I had an idea.
What?
We do some would you rather questions.
Okay.
So not and I don't have any written down. I was just gonna go to the generator and pop 2 up, and we talk about it.
Okay.
You down?
Sure. We could do that.
All right. Would you rather... Okay, this has got to be the dumbest fucking question I've ever seen in my life. And I'm only saying it.
Then skip it.
Dude, the first one that pops up. Would you rather be an Olympic tennis player or an Olympic table tennis player? What the fuck kind of questions?
I think table tennis, only because then I can like show up at parties where there's ping pong table, because there's more likely ping pong tables at parties than like a fucking tennis court. And I know they're not gonna know that I'm an Olympic table tennis because nobody knows that. You're not walking around a mall. They're not walking around a mall and they're like, "Oh my god, are you Brian Halvax, the Olympic tennis table player?" Like that doesn't fucking happen. And I could just then fucking like be like, like a pool shark, but be a tennis table shark and just fucking take people's money.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather watch only dramas for the rest of your life or only comedies for the rest of your life?
Comedy.
Dramas.
Dramas for sure, dude.
Really? I think comedy for me. I like a good laugh.
All right, would you rather spend a year alone in a deep sea submarine or spend a year alone in a space station?
Those both sound awful.
Yeah, those sound like the most anxiety-inducing shit I've ever seen.
If I'm choosing one of these, I'm like on the verge of dying. I feel like, because I would never do one of these unless I was like super old or something.
I think.
What just happened with your throat, dude?
What?
It sounded like you made like a weird noise in your throat. Did you hear that?
I just said I think.
Me or him?
Him.
It might have been my mic. I don't know, but
dude, these sound whack. I don't want to do either.
If I had to though, I think space, only because I don't know. Just zero gravity for like, if I was bored, I could just I could just like pee in my own mouth and shit.
Jerk off, like play ping pong with the cum.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Jesus fucking Christ! That's not my reasoning. Jesus.
Okay. And he's like, I'd space because I would like to study the science and see like just fucking like
ping pong with my cum.
Yeah, that's
like
dope.
I'm here like H.P. Lovecraft was my favorite author, so I'd want to go underwater because we don't know anything about that shit. And
dude, you have a favorite author, bro?
I have a few.
You read books, dude? Swag.
I do.
Just kidding.
Here's the question: is there anything in the deep sea? Like, what if there's something in the deep sea that could take out the submarine, dude?
There could be, bro. Deep sea shit's fucking nuts.
That's what I'm saying. If I wanted to do either, I would want to be close on the verge of dying. Like, because if that would happen, that'd be a way to go out. Hey, what happened to Eddy and the crew? We don't fucking know.
His submarine just disappeared.
Yeah, whereas like as space, like everything is, there's satellites, there's documentation, recordings. Like, if a fucking Cthulhu came out and took out my submarine, what a way to go out. That'd be sick. And we know a fraction of what's underwater compared to space.
Yeah, that's, which is crazy. We almost know more about space than what's beneath us.
We definitely know more about space than what's beneath.
Personally, I don't know shit about either.
Yeah.
Bro,
Same.
The one thing is, the idea of being in space gives me so much anxiety that I would freak out.
But would being deep underwater in a submarine give you less anxiety, you think?
No.
I feel like it would be worse claustrophobic to be underwater.
I mean, both you got claustrophobic issues. There's not like that big of spaceship. At least I don't think. I've never been on one. I've never been on a submarine either, so I don't know.
I've been on the submarine ride at Disneyland. I remember.
Oh, that's like the same thing as being on the real one. So yeah.
I remember I did this with my sister and my mom, and my mom is hardcore claustrophobic.
Really?
So yeah, we went in there and she's like, "Nah, it's fine." Like, me and my sister were like, "Yo, this is probably not a good idea." Like, we're basically like the parents and she's the kid. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Nah, it's fine. Let's try it." It's like a Finding Nemo ride or some shit, super cute and innocent. And we go in there, and as they're closing the hatchet, my mom's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then someone next to them starts freaking out because they're also claustrophobic, and they had to stop the fucking ride.
Wow, damn.
Yeah. Apparently it happens a lot.
That would have been a way better story if she got stuck in there.
Imagine.
That'd have been fucked.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather know everything or be the ruler of everything?
I would rather
know everything. What? Really?
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Like but like what? That's very vague. What do you mean by know
everything?
Everything.
Like
literally
what
everything.
People are thinking and shit too.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Then I'd want to be the ruler of everything. I don't want to know what people are thinking all the time, bro.
Yeah, well, then the person who knows everything would know everything and overrule you. Like, he would just know what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it.
I'd hire them as my advisor.
Yeah, true.
What if they don't need to be your advisor because they fucking know everything?
Then I'll kill them.
Yeah, I'd probably just.
How would you kill them if they know everything?
Because everybody, I'm the ruler of everything. including them.
Well, I know everything. I know how you're gonna kill me, when you're gonna kill me. I know who you hire.
damn.
I know what I know fucking everything. That's what it says. It would be no contest, dude.
The one thing is this question kind of sucks.
Yeah. Gonna hit us with another one. What?
Would you rather eat Sam's ass or?
Would you rather raise a family with Samuel L. Jackson or raise a family with Vin Diesel? What kind of question is that?
That's actually pretty hard.
I think Samuel L. Jackson. Like raise a family. What? Like he's my like partner or some shit.
I mean, it could just be a joint, like partnership in parenting, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's my parenting partner or whatever.
I would be scared with Vin Diesel because family's everything.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Good
Family
point.
is everything. So you might like that's a big pointer for me. Big points.
That might be a solid thing when you compare it to Samuel L. Jackson. He just wants to get these motherfucking snakes off these motherfucking plane.
Yeah, he'd make it look like some Family Shield initiative or some shit.
Yeah.
Marvel's
Go
ass.
all Mace Windu on him.
Oh,
Marvel is ass.
Fuck you. I just remembered something and I want to talk about it before I forget.
Hit me.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but this past week, I've had so many encounters with like really rude people. But this one in particular, I was gonna get coffee before a work meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And for context, I work in sales. And so like when I get a call from a number I don't know, I pick it up. Like I don't know if it's customer, blah, blah, blah. So I'm at Starbucks. It's like the one across the street, and I pick up my phone, and it's on silent. I was talking to my mom, so naturally I silenced my phone. And I'm like, oh, missed call. And it's a 949 number. And I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't leave a voicemail. So I call them back, and they're like, I'm just going to make up a name. This is Jim with Jim's Air Conditioning. The air conditioning part is true. And I was like, hey, this is Eddy. I missed a call from this number, so I'm just returning the call. And the guy's like, you sure about that, pal? And I was like, I'm looking at my fucking phone, and it says I have a missed call, and I recited his number. And he's like, I'm not so sure you're right about that because I haven't made any calls. And I'm like, look, guy, I don't fucking know you and you don't fucking know me. But what I do know is I got a missed call from you, and this is the number that called me. And he was like, oh,
You're
well,
muted,
no,
Sam. Sam, you're muted.
There's people who use our number to solicit business. We're just an air conditioning company. And I was like, precisely, which is why I'm calling you back, because you called me. And he was a fucking dick on the phone. And I was like, you called me.
Bro, I'm shocked you kept it going that long.
I was
the phone.
and then my order was ready, and I went to get my cold brew and whatever I got for Grail. And they're like, here's your order. I'm like, did you hear that shit? And they're like, yeah. And I'm just like, how are you gonna be rude if you call, like, even if you know that you didn't call me? Like, let's reverse it, right? Like, someone calls me, hey, this is Eddy. Yeah, I just received a missed call from this number. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. Wasn't me. My bad. Maybe I butt dialed, but yeah, definitely wasn't me. This guy was invested in being a total dick. And I was like really distraught.
Maybe
Honestly,
he only
called me.
Yeah, maybe he had like a limited minutes plan, like say I only had like 500 minutes and then like free nights and weekends, and you were just wasting his minutes, and he was just pissed about it.
That shit blew my mind, dude. I was like, this is a 10-minute conversation that could have been 1 minute. People are just fucking rude, especially around here. I don't know, but rant over.
Yeah, people are fucking rude in general. You know what that reminds me of though? Like telemarketers calling. I don't know why that made me think of that, but I get so many fucking calls.
Yeah, me too.
And it's some variation of like a similar number to me. Like, and it's just fucking calls all the fucking time. I answer. It's like, You have a problem with your AT&T account. Would you like to...
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
You know what I do to those people now, though? I take after
What's
what my
that?
dad used to do. Rest in peace. And I don't go as extreme, but when he used to get calls, like from telemarketers, he would go, hey, they would go, hi, is this Richard? And they'd be, what's up, babe?
Did you get the meds?
Yeah, I did. We're doing a podcast, though.
I know, but I need to ask.
I love you so much. You're beautiful.
Also, fuck off.
So he would answer. And they'd be like, hi, is this Richard? And he'd be like, yes. And they'd be like, this is bullshitter from bullshit company A, B, C. And he would be like, hey, if you call this number again, I'm gonna fucking hunt down your entire family, kill each of them one by one, and save you for last.
Your dad would say that.
Take me off your list.
Damn.
Or I'll put
And
you
then
on
he would hang
mine.
Yo, that'd be fine. And then he
Or I'll
hung
put
up.
you on, or I'll put you on what?
Or I'll put you on mine.
Dude,
But yeah.
that's amazing.
So I don't really necessarily threaten murder because it's
I mean,
2022. But I'll be like, take me off your fucking list right now.
Yeah,
The abridged version.
Your dad's a legend, but I've worked in a call center. I've never been a telemarketer, but I've worked in a call center, and a majority of my sales career has been calling. So, like, whenever I do get a telemarketer or something, I go by like a 30-second rule. Like, I'll give them 10 seconds to like listen to their pitch or whatever the fuck they're calling me for. And then 20 seconds if it's like if it's actually like, I don't know, my internet provider or blah, 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 blah. Like, just in case, I'm at an overage or something. But yeah, within that 10 seconds, if they're just like, oh, your social security has been compromised, I will just run with it and fuck with them.
You have to.
Like, you have to make some fun out of it,
Yeah. One time, like a telemarketer called me and they're like, "Oh, is this Ryan?" Like whatever, blah. I was like, "Yeah," like speaking, and they're like, did their whole pitch on whatever their thing was, and then like in the middle of it, I just stopped. I was like, "Wait, hold on one second." They're like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then I just was like, I pretended that there was like somebody else like talking to me. I was like, "Yeah," like in the background, I'm like, "Yeah, and then I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Please stop!" And then I was just like, "Help me! Help me!" I just started like yelling. I was getting murdered. It's like, "He has a gun!" And then they're just like, "What?" And then I just hung up on them.
Dude, honestly, that's just not the fucking way to do business. I feel like just making a random call on a phone. No. It's 2022.
There's a right way to do it. I mean, I see the other side of it. Like, if you're cold calling someone, like, do your fucking research. Like, don't just call random people.
Like, nowadays, low key, send me a fucking Twitter DM, dude. I'll reply.
Or start with an email.
Now it's nice. Now it's nice with like iPhones and shit. It'll like a lot of times it'll say like potential spam.
Yeah,
and you're just like, okay, like I'm good. But I get calls from numbers all the time. Or the other day, I've been getting a call from some number like a lot recently, and it's always during the week. And like I'll answer it, and there's nobody. It's not anybody. It's just like some jingle. Like it's just like some song that plays. And I'm like, and then I was like, what the fuck? And then after a while, I was just like, and I kept getting that call, and it was just like some weird song that would play. And I was like, yo, what if this is just some person trying to like sell their mixtape? And they're just like, yo, maybe he's gonna answer and think this is fire.
I was thinking
like,
you were gonna get murdered.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe that too. But like, it just was like some song. It was like just some like kind of like elevator kind of music song. So it probably wasn't that. But I was like, yo, what if this person's just calling people and they're like, yo, maybe somebody fucks with this, and they just hear it and they're like, yo, what's your fucking SoundCloud, bro? Like, this is fire. And I was like, that's actually not a bad like way to like market your shit if that is what it is, but it's for sure not. But like
tactical.
Could be.
Cold calling for your mixtape is crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude. And you just play it for 10 seconds. If they're still on the phone, you're just like, yo, you like that shit or what? And then someone's like, yeah, dude. So I kept you on. I put you on speaker for like fucking for the crew to hear it.
What if it slaps and they just hang up and you're like, yo, I'm just calling
Yeah,
back.
right.
That was not mid. Can you play like
Yeah, like,
15
you got another track, bro?
Yeah. Where can I get the link to this, dude?
Bro, have you guys ever dealt with the mixtape guys in Venice Beach?
No.
Oh my god, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, it's just they're just like trying to sell their like reggae music. It's always reggae music, I feel like.
All right, so if you ever go to the listeners out there, if you ever go to Venice Beach, California, you know, like the boardwalk where people walk around, and someone says, "Hey, you want a mixtape?"
Say
And they
no.
kind of hand it out. Like, don't say no, don't say yes, don't even acknowledge their existence. And here, I know it's gonna sound like that's kind of rude. Like, you should definitely like talk to some. No, trust me, you're gonna run into 15 to 20 guys on your day in Venice. They're all gonna offer you their mixtape, and if you give them the time of day and acknowledge them, they're
That's
not
it.
going to let you go.
Yeah.
You're standing there for the next 25 minutes. Bro, one time when I first went there, I was with Samantha, like very early on in our relationship. The guy goes, "Hey, you want a free mixtape?" And I had never been there. I was like, "Oh, free mixtape? Yeah, I'll listen to your music." As I go out to grab it, he's like, "What do you got for me, though?"
Yeah, dude. That's what they
And
do.
I'm like, a free mix, my ears to listen to it. That's what I have. And then slowly he knows the other mixtape guys. You good?
"Yo, I'm doing the podcast. I'll call you right back."
Is it telemarketer?
No.
Imagine.
Imagine, dude.
All right, next
it was
telemarketer, we
good.
ask him to be on the podcast.
Right? That'd be crazy.
I'm looping you in here.
So I'm holding on to this mixtape. He's holding on to the mixtape.
Yeah.
He knows the other mixtape guys. They start coming around. They start swarming us.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yo, you said free. I don't have anything." He's like, "Come on, man. You don't have anything? Like just like a couple dollars, anything?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm sorry. I don't have anything." So I let go at this point. He says, you know what he fucking says?
What?
"How about those shoes?" What?
I wonder if anybody was like, "Yo, good point."
My
Just took their
shoes for your
Like, you know what, dude? Yeah, if you think it's that fire, you deserve my shoes, dude. Fuck them.
And then I realized there were some grown men surrounding me asking me for my shoes. And I said, "Oh."
I'm picturing you wearing your rainbow Crocs in this situation.
I was wearing Vans probably.
Uh-oh.
And I turned around and walked away. That shit was kind of sketchy, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude.
Damn, dude.
How about your shoes?
No, I'm gonna walk around Venice for the day. So no, that wouldn't work out for me.
There's one person that starts to twitch and is like, what about your soul?
Okay, sure.
Imagine.
Don't need that.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I haven't been to Venice in a while, but I remember that in particularly. I learned the hard way. That was.
I remember
Yeah.
I went to Venice with like Sircon, I think, like fucking once. Like we were like 19 maybe or some shit like that. I don't even know.
You're
And,
probably
like,
high as fuck.
oh no, like fucking I don't know, like Sircon just like hyped it up. And like I was
He
like,
hypes everything up.
yeah, he does hype everything up, even if it's whack. Sorry, Sircon, if you see
We
this.
love
But
you.
like, yeah, but and then like I don't know, we probably were gonna go there to get like he just was like wanted like a bong or like weed. Apparently there's just like some like weed like a fucking a dispensary there that was just like fire or whatever. And we were like, okay. Or like maybe we went there because actually no, I think we went there because he was like, yeah, we can get like our like med cards here or whatever. And I was like, we can
I
do that.
remember
Like
this.
I was like, we could do that in Orange County, but like he was like, nah, you got to do it. He was like, nah, you got to do it here, bro. And we were like, and then we went there, couldn't even find, or no. I think we found a place. He goes in, and like
They
when
denied
we
him or
went
some shit.
no. So like in Orange County or whatever, like I kind of doxed us, but we can bleep that. But
Nah,
where
we live in Orange County, dude. It's okay. It's a big county.
Yeah, true. In Orange County, when you do that, it was like I don't know, it was like literally like $60 or some shit to do it. And like Sergon goes into this place. I'm like just standing outside, like because it was like right on like the beach or whatever. So it's like, I'm like standing outside. He comes out and he's like, I'm like, did you get it or whatever? And he was like, nah. And I was like, they deny you? And he's like, bro, they were trying to sell it to me for like $300. And I was like, yeah. I was like, we can get it in Orange County for like $60. He's like, yeah, it's just like fucking dumb. And then we like didn't do that, didn't get weed, didn't do anything. We just drove to Venice, paid like $30 to park there for like an hour.
Oh my
You didn't
we
walk
just,
around and enjoy the.
we ended up walking around for a little bit. I like bought. There was like some dude selling some like crazy art. I actually bought like some like piece off of it because it was like really sick. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy this because it was like some like King Kong thing that the dude like painted himself and shit. It was pretty sick. And then like bought that off him, and then that was that. And then we like left. It was like really dumb, but yeah.
Riveting.
Have I ever told the story on this podcast about getting my wreck? I think I
Yeah, you
have.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Where
It was,
I
like,
just
one of
walked in, Skype with the doctor, and they were just like, the doctor denied me, and the person at the desk was like, nah, you're good.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember you. I was with you, and I was like out in the car, like waiting, and you just walked out, and you were just like looked super confused. I was like, "You get it?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What?" And then you explained the whole situation to me, and I was just like to me, because I think I already had mine. I was like, "Yeah, it sounds kind of sketchy. That's usually how it goes. Like whatever." Like fucking crazy.
How did I get mine?
Suck
I think
a
it was
Well,
easy for me.
We all went to like
Yeah.
the same place, from what I remember. Like,
I sucked a dick. Yeah.
Same.
really, I didn't have to do that.
No, I
Go
think
ahead.
I was playing like my brain tumor card, and I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And he gave
Yeah.
it to me.
Oh yeah, that's something we never talked about. Eddie had a brain tumor.
True.
Should we dive into that?
Yeah, if it's not uncomfortable for you guys.
I don't give a shit. I mean, it's more so if it's uncomfortable for you. You're the one that had a fucking brain tumor.
No, not at all. It's like
I was fine. I was totally comfortable.
I
I was
I
fine.
was there.
I heard the news and I was chilling.
I lived it from a companion's perspective.
That shit was wild.
Yeah, that where should I start with that? So
Let's start from how you figured out that you had one and like what the fuck was happening that you were like, I should go get my head checked out.
yeah, so I had been vomiting a lot, but it wasn't like normal. Like, hey, I got sick. I have the stomach flu. I'm throwing up. It was like I was eating the same stuff, like cooked from home. Like it wasn't bad food. I was drinking the same stuff. I wasn't like relatively in terrible shape. Like I was always a chubby kid, but it wasn't like I was like purging myself or anything. And every time I threw up, it was always projectile. And I remember like maybe like the third or fourth time I'd thrown up in the week. It was the first time my mom had seen me throw up. And but she saw like that it was projectile. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's like the fourth time this week. Like I'm just a kid, so I don't think anything of it." And sorry if you hear the vacuum in the background. And my mom was like, "Is it like that every time? Like where it's like a fucking hose?" And I was like, "Yeah, every time." And she was like,
Fucking hose.
"Yeah." And she was my family, like, so my mom and my dad's side, they call me Teddy. Like it's just how I've been referred to in the family. She's like, "Teddy, that's not okay. Like you got to tell me this shit." So she takes me to our family practice doctor, which we've been going to forever. They're really, really nice. And they're just like, "Oh yeah, he probably just like has stomach flu. Like it's probably just that. Like, drink Sprite, fluids.
Drink Sprite. That's always a side note. I always think that's weird when the doctor.
Or your Gatorade.
Yeah, it's like,
Nah,
have some
Gingerale, the
Yeah, or
elixir of the
Gingerale,
gods.
Gingerale, that's what it was. Gingerale.
it's like, oh, so you make like fucking $800,000 a year to tell me to drink some fucking Gingerale, dude, for sure.
The elixir
Yeah.
of the gods. Carry on.
Yeah.
No, he definitely said ginger ale now that you mention it. So we do what he says, like another 3 or 4 days go by, and I do it. And then my mom's like, all right, let me give it a week. And if it happens sooner or after, like something's definitely not okay. So
was your head hurting at all at this point?
Not yet.
Okay.
So a week goes by and we go back to the practitioner and my mom was like, listen, like something doesn't seem right. Like what the doctor said X, Y, and Z. I've been following this to the book. I've been like doing stuff that
I've been drinking my ginger ale.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing.
I've had 10 ginger ale a day.
Canada Dry stock has never been higher. And they were like, well, like Eddy's mom, we don't know what to tell you, like blah blah blah. So another week goes by and my mom's like researching and like talking to friends. Thankfully, I'm very, very blessed that although my parents didn't have the greatest marriage, my dad's side is all doctors. Like they're all surgeons. Like one's an OBGYN, one's a brain surgeon. One specializes in like cardiovascular. Like they're all incredibly gifted and they're all surgeons. So my godfather specializes in brain. And my mom hit him up and was like, hey, something's like not, I feel like something's not right with Teddy. And she gives him the rundown. And she's been holding like a journal, like what's going on. He threw up on this day. It started on this day. It's been this many times. It's been this many times projectile. I've seen it many times.
And your godfather's like, has he been drinking any ginger ale?
And then my mom's like, 8 cases we've consumed.
and he's just like, he should be fine. It's all good. That's just like he's a brain surgeon. Ginger ale? No?
So, no, if the ginger ale doesn't work, you're going to want to get a syringe. Fill it to the T with Canada Dry. Direct injections.
next to my bed, it's like 2 liters upside down.
Bags
full of ginger ale.
You know, like the hospital bags. It's 2 liters upside down.
A week goes by of direct injection of a ginger ale. Still nothing's changing.
Canada Dry drip.
Just like,
and so, and then finally, like, I'm like listening to my mom have this conversation.
Finally, we switched to Schweppes ginger ale.
I have coffee in my mouth, bro. Chill.
We're just making fun of Eddy's brain tumor situation with ginger ale.
Hey, I was there. I was his friend back then. I can make fun of him.
So we switched to Schweppes now. So then there's like a period of silence, and I'm like, what's he saying? And then he goes, all right, well, everything what you're telling me sounds not good. Like it sounds fucking terrible. Here's what I need you to do, and I hope I'm wrong. I need you to run him to the nearest ER, and I'm going to tell you which one to go to because I have a connect there. If you go to a different one, like you're going to have to wait forever and get an appointment, blah, blah, blah. Once you're there, tell them how many times he's been throwing up.
Tell them how much ginger ale you've tried.
Tell them how much Canada Dry you've consumed. Tell them how much.
This joke is never going to get old. I'm sorry.
That's true. We're milking a promotion for ginger ale right now. So they take me to the doctor. They take my vials and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they tell me, this is why I hate the health sector industry so much, because there's good people and there's bad people, just like in real life. They'd have the fucking audacity to tell me, oh, it's probably the stomach flu. We're going to send him home and drink more ginger ale. Like,
I was just going to say.
They were telling me the same fucking thing that my family doctor was telling me. And my mom was like, no, dude, I just came from a doctor and I just fucking told you that they told me all this shit. And my husband's brother is like this surgeon here. And he told me all these symptoms are something that I need this for. And this was a CAT scan. And they didn't want to give us a CAT scan. They wanted to send us home.
Why?
So I don't know. At the time, it must have just been a terrible time for reliable doctors. I mean, it's obviously a thing that happens right now. But anyways.
Okay, well, sorry, side note, and I hate doing this because I gave you shit for doing this, but was your head hurting at this point?
No.
Still no. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Just to be clear.
So, actually, yes. This was the night before. Sam had came over. We'd had like a sleepover or some shit. And I had thrown up. And then I forget if like either you felt bad and wanted to go home or my mom felt bad and wanted to like, I don't know. You ended up going home or something. And then I started like fucking crying. And I was like, dude, I just want to like hang out with my friends without throwing up. Like,
dude, we were going to do prank calls all night.
Yeah, we're going to watch Dragon Ball Z and play Yu-Gi-Oh! And shit.
We were probably hunting Lugia. So...
Yeah, we were probably doing Rayquaza shit. So my mom was like, what happened? And I was just like, fucking like, I was heartbroken. I was a kid that was trying to like do normal shit, but I couldn't without fucking throwing up or drinking ginger ale.
Side note, when I left, I took a ginger ale for the road.
Road ginger? Yeah. So
that's why he got the brain tumor. He needed that one ginger ale, and you fucking took it, bro.
So slight backtrack, fast forward, we're at the hospital now. So that night, before I threw up, my head was killing me. It was pounding. It wasn't like a normal headache. It felt like something was gonna fucking burst out of my skull. Like it felt terrible. And my ears were, there was a light humming noise. Like not like a fly or anything, but like if metal was vibrating, like super close to my ear. So I tell these symptoms to the hospital and they're like, all right, fine. You've had 200 cases of ginger ale. We've heard your spiel. We'll get you a CAT scan. So they get me into a CAT scan. An hour goes by and I'm like sitting in my bed and like the doctors are all like talking and shit. And my mom has like a super concerned face on her face, or look on her face. And she goes up to them and they're like discussing and shit. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm the one throwing up. Is anyone gonna tell me what's going on? Like, I was fucking pissed. And they go up to me and they're like, here's what's going on. We did the CAT scan and we found a tumor the size of a golf ball in your head. It's right behind your right eye, and they're like telling me this, but they're also like telling my parents all like the important shit. And at that point, like I'm still kind of a kid. Like
you're kind of a kid, and you're Eddy. So you're like,
how old were you?
You're like, am I gonna get superpowers?
This
is how it all starts.
I must have been like 10 or 11.
We were in 7th grade. We were in 7th grade. You were like 12.
Well, 7th grade is when I came back after
6th
surgery.
grade.
So it was 6th
No,
grade.
because this happened when I knew you, and I didn't meet you until 7th grade. And I had known you for a solid amount of time at that point. Like I had known you for at least like a year, maybe even at that point. So it had to be 7th or 8th grade because I remember going over to Sam's house, and it was like I didn't start going over to Sam's house until like some time of hanging out with you guys that summer. Like it had to be at least 7th grade because I'll get to the point where Sam tells me, but
yeah.
So the doctors go to the next level. Ginger ale, bold.
So they're just like, they pretty much felt terrible, and they're like, yeah, your family friend, that surgeon, they were pretty much 100% accurate with everything.
Also, side note, they must have felt like shit that they were just like, no, we're not going to give you a fucking CAT scan. And then finally they're like, oh my God, we'll give you a fucking CAT scan, dude. Whatever.
Bitch ass 10-year-old, dude.
Oh, dude. Fucking dude. This 12-year-old bro, just drink some fucking ginger ale. A CAT scan, dude, you little bitch. And then they give you the CAT scan. They're like, oh, fuck. Shit.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, when I'm doing the CAT scan, I found out that I'm allergic to whatever they give me. They give like a specific I don't know if iodine is the right word. They give like
they can see. Yeah, I think they see like your blood and shit.
So that was the first time I got high as fuck. because I was allergic to it, but it was like a good allergy. Anyways, so
now I'm hooked on iodine.
yeah,
My life is in shambles.
so they're like explaining all this to me, and then they have my uncle on speakerphone, and they're just like, okay, one of my best friends works at, we're gonna bleep this out, hospital. I'm going to call him right now, and you're going to what's the word? When a patient leaves the hospital, you're gonna, it starts with a D. Dispatch? I don't fucking know.
Dispatch.
That's the police.
Yeah.
Something. You're gonna release the patient. You're gonna release the patient. You're gonna give them all the documents, and you're gonna rush them to the hospital. So, this is like 14 hours of no sleep at this point. This is like 2 a.m. They rush me to the hospital, which is in another city, which y'all know. That was the first time I was in an ambulance. I pretty much slept.
Took an ambulance there, dude? That must have cost so much fucking money, dude.
I don't remember if I did, actually.
Dude, there's no way. Your mom had to, dude. That would have cost, just when I got in my fucking car accident, I took an ambulance, and it was like a 10-mile ride. It was like $14,000. So there's no fucking way you took an ambulance.
Was it always like that, though?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Ambulances are fucking expensive, dude. It's just fucking insane. But go on, sorry.
So I get to the hospital. They start doing like the pre-patient checkup, blah blah blah. Like I said, I'm so fucking blessed. I probably would be dead if I didn't have that connect. So, and to my earlier point, I'm just a kid. So when they said tumor, I was just like, what does that pertain? Like, what does that mean? Like
do I get spider webs? Like,
yeah,
what's going on here? Dude?
Am I gonna start like spewing Gingerale whenever I want? Like, what are the contingencies? Anyway, so I go there, and I was raised in a super religious family, Catholicism, and we get there, and there's like a priest at my bed. Like my mom's like freaking out. Like she's thinking like worst case scenario. And he's like doing like my sin, like in Catholicism, like you say like your sins and shit, and they're like, oh, you're forgetting ginger ale, blah blah blah. So I remember I was in bed with my patient roommate was Paris Hilton's cousin, and he was What?
I said fire.
He was a dude, super cool guy. And his appendix, get this, had just erupted as they got to the hospital, and it was like he was completely chill. He was just recovering, but he was just telling me all this, and he was like, "Could be worse." And I was just like, "Thanks, I appreciate that." I have a tumor in my head, not helping. I wonder what he's doing. We exchanged numbers, and then we never talked. Anyways, they're
exchanged numbers with a 12-year-old.
He was my age.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was imagining an adult.
No. We became super good friends in the hospital. I know I'm talking a lot.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember. I'll get to like the night of the surgery. I remember I'd like taken an immense amount of steroids because the swelling in my brain was like really gnarly, and they needed to prep me for surgery. And I remember this is why I fucking hate hospitals. They're like wheeling me out. Before they wheel me out, the surgeon that's homies with my uncle, he comes to introduce himself. He's like, "Hey, my name's blah blah blah. I spoke with your uncle. You're in super good hands. Like, I've done this." He was famously known for separating twins that were conjoined by the head. So he specialized in brain surgery. Yeah, he really good track record.
Kills it at the board game operator then.
Yeah, probably. But I just love the way he talked to me, because like I was still a kid, but he was talking to me like I was an adult, because like my mom was freaking out and wasn't making it any better. My dad was pretty absent in the entire time. Shout out, Dad. And he came up to me. He's like, "Listen, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to perform surgery, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to get into the graphics just because it's gnarly. And he was like, and then here are the two outcomes that could happen, because you need to understand, like, I don't want you to get scared after, and, you know, your life can change forever. He was like, it could not work and you could die. Like, that's the reality. Like, that could happen. Secondly, it could work, but there's an extremely high chance that you'll mentally not all be there. You might have trouble and frustration with communicating how you normally communicate, like me and you right now. You might need to like learn how to talk again. And then he was like, oh, I forgot. You're definitely going to have to learn how to walk again. So just be prepared for that. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like,
and
but the
your
way
dick's going to be really tiny for the rest of the time.
And you'll never have ginger ale again. And he's like conveying all of this to me in a really like I don't even know how to say, but he was really reassuring. Like, it was the worst shit you could probably hear, but he was like, I got you. Like, let's do this. So they get me super fucking high.
W.
Start just taking bong rips at the doctor. That's crazy.
I'm ripping my vape, and he's like doing the bong.
I'm talking bong rips, cocaine rips,
and we're
acid.
shotgunning. So I vividly remember this. I have like nightmares about this shit. They're wheeling me into the operating room, and it's like steel walls everywhere, and like it's ice cold. It's so fucking cold. Like, a hospital's already cold, but it's like we're in a fucking butcher shop freezer. It's so cold. And I remember my nurse was the homie. He was this tatted up nurse, super chill. He didn't know I was in a video game, so he was comforting me and stuff. But before, he was like, "There's an operating room. Are you ready?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." And he's like, asked me like, you know, where do you go to school? Like, your mom tells me like your friends are chill with you, like blah blah blah. And he's like talking me through this.
Your friends are chill with you.
I'm paraphrasing really poorly.
I know.
But he's
I'm just
basically
fucking
saying
with
like, your friends, like, they're thinking about you, blah blah blah. But he's distracting me from the amount of drugs they're putting into me right now. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I go here, blah blah blah. I'm this years old, and like 60 seconds go by, and I should be out by now. And he's like, all right, well, like, or who are you excited to see? And then I like say like Sam, Ryan, blah blah blah, and then I'm lights out. I pass out. I don't remember a lot, but I remember, I don't know if it was part of the procedure to see if I could comprehend vocals and like how to communicate. But I remember there was a brief moment during the surgery where I woke up, and the surgeon was like, I was still heavily down. It felt like a dream, honestly. And he was like, hey, can you blink if you can do this? Can you wiggle your fingers if you can do this? Like, I think they were like testing if I was still good.
Here, drink this Gingerale.
Gingerale. And there's a bunch of this story, and I don't know how we're on time, so I'll wrap it up here. Or we can talk about it another time. But I wake up with bandages around my head, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I think that might have been the first time I said fuck in front of my parents. I woke up and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, the longest fuck. And then I do like one of these, like I turn my head like this, but it feels like I'm going like this. Like, it's gnarly. Like, I make the smallest movement, but like my head, it's I have no control of the movement. And then like my mom sees I woke up, like with a concerned look on her face, but she's like happy, sad. And then she's like, hey, like, are you okay? And like I can talk normally. So it's like a massive relief based on what they said. And then the doctor comes in and he's like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm just like, fucking great. What do you think? And then I didn't say that, but
that would have been fucking badass, dude.
He was like, all right, we're just gonna do a couple of tests. Like, it's okay to be scared right now, and it's okay if you remember our conversation before I'm going to explain what just happened. And he was like, first things first, what year is it? And I was like, oh, it's 1996. And he was like, let's try again. What year do you think it is right now? And I was like, 1996. And he was like, no, it's whatever year it was, 2000.
X, I think,
Yeah,
maybe?
2006, 2007.
You were 3 or 4 years old in 2006 or 1996.
Yeah, I was
Mm.
2 years old. Yeah, anyways. And he was like, all right,
2,
second question.
3. I thought 4.
No. I was born 1993, so I've been 1 year old. Anyways.
What? That math doesn't add up. If you were born in 1993 and it was
1996, you'd be
3 years
1993,
old. 3 years old. 3 years old.
Jesus, bro.
I'm trying to tell a story. The second question he asked me is like, what's your name? Do you know your name? And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I don't know my fucking name. And I'm scared because I don't want to say something wrong and freak everyone out. Because like my mom was visibly freaking the fuck out. And I was like, Audrey. And he was like, that's your sister's name. Which is good. You remember your sister, which is awesome. But what's your name? And I was like,
Schweppes.
Just Canada Dry.
yeah, right. I couldn't remember my name, so he told me. And then he started asking me like basic questions, like how are you feeling? Like, can you feel this? Blah blah blah. But yeah, man, it was fucking wild. And then I remember, I remember him telling me, "Do you remember what happened 2 nights ago?" And I said, beats me. Like, you tell me. Apparently, I had an allergic reaction to something else that they gave me. I woke up in the middle of my induced coma, ripped out the IVs in me, and started sprinting down the halls, like trying to run for my bandages on me. I was like all bloodied and shit.
Well, aren't you on like steroids and shit? You said too, so maybe you were like
Crazy, man.
maybe you were like roid raging or some shit.
Could be. And which explains my really tiny dick now.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's like the first half of the story. I don't want to talk about me the entire time, but yeah.
I think
Pretty
it's good though. I think we haven't really had like an Eddy background, like really like on one of the episodes. So I think that was good.
Yeah, a lot of my personality changed because before my brain tumor, I was like I was bad.
Yeah, you were like super cool, and then afterwards, I just
Now you
I
wear
was like,
fucking
yeah.
Sailor Moon shirts and shit, dude.
I was like, this is kind of whack.
No, I personally think I was a pretty shitty person. Like I wasn't the great. I had a lot.
Bro,
of
you
we
were
like
9
wait,
years
no,
old.
Yeah,
I know.
11, bro. It's a pretty
Yeah,
shitty. I did some fucked up things, dude. I stole Pop-Tart from my sister one time, dude. It's fucked.
But like after I was like much more open. Like I appreciate life so much now, and like I remember I was raised in a really religious family, so like when I went back to like church, we had to do this it's called catechism. It's for Catholicism. Like you go to like a school for church and you learn about Christ and stuff.
Like the priest touches you and shit.
And like I go back and I was notoriously known for the kid that was saved. Blah 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 blah.
Oh my god.
Oh dude, I went into each class. The exact opposite happened for the people in that establishment. I went to that class and I was the kid that was like challenging everything. Like my mom was a teacher there. And I remember there's one class where we're like talking about the purpose of life and shit and like God and stuff. And I was that annoying kid that was just like, if God loves us and everything, why did he put a brain tumor in my head? And why did he make my dad fucking crazy? Like, and the teachers would be like, I was terrified. I don't know what the right word is, but I challenged a lot.
That's the right word. Yo, thank
was-
God my mom didn't put me in that shit when I was a kid. Thank God, because I would have just been like a mythical guy in the sky. Okay, no,
But
I'm not gonna go with that.
that event, it changed my outlook on faith. It changed my outlook on how you talk to people. Like the craziest shit could happen. Like I remember when I finally started to come back to normal and like I learned how to walk again, which we can talk about at a later time. and like all the stuff, like remembering you guys, and then remembering like school and what I'd like to do and like the video games I like to play. I remember like I'm so lucky to be where I am today because, you know, Sam, your dad passed from like nearly the same thing but worse. And I remember I was like I remember going back to the fucking catechism shit, and we were talking about I forget what, but some scripture. And I was like, yeah, I have a question. How come God took my best friend's dad, but he kept me? Like
Your mic's muted, Sam.
Damn.
It was gnarly, dude. Like I pivoted my outlook on life in a way where like you guys are joking, you're like, oh, I stole a Pop-Tart and shit. I wasn't a great kid, but after this, I appreciated stuff a lot more. Granted, I have some stuff I need to work on now, but yeah, man, that shit was
Little
fucking
bitch,
crazy.
dude.
And I was so stoked to like go back to school and stuff. And I remember Tom came up to me and he was like, hey man, I'm friends with Ryan. He told me what happened to you. Your scar's gnarly.
Yeah, dude, I remember you had. I mean, you still have a scar. I mean, your hair is covered, but I remember like for the longest time, like hair wouldn't grow like where you had your scar and shit. And I remember we were all. Yeah, I remember we were all just like, yo, like now it's like take your fucking hat off. Like it's all covered and shit. I mean, I've never actually really looked since. Like you don't see it.
You can't really see it.
Yeah, no, I remember like going to Sam's house and then like Sam telling me, like I just remember like going there and I was like gonna go hang out with them. I'm like, oh, let's go play video games or do whatever. And then Sam's just was like, yo, Eddy has a tumor in his head and he's gonna go into surgery. And I was just like, what? Like, because I remember like that was like I feel like that was like the first time.
What?
I don't remember you, and I don't remember exactly, but I remember you literally being like, Eddy has a brain tumor, and like it like could be cancerous, and he has to go like into surgery and shit. And I was just, and I remember that was for sure like the first time in my life that I was like, yo, like shit's fucking real. Like it was like it was like, you know, I was like, damn, like it's not like the first sure like the heaviest thing that ever happened to me at that time. I was like, what the fuck? And then it was just because it was like about a year later that like your dad passed, right, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, so I remember it was like the whole thing with Eddy. Then a year later, like it was just like, but just 2 years in a row, like gnarly shit. And I was both of those things for me, at least, like I was just like, what the fuck? Like I was like, Eddy just had a gnarly tumor. Like Sam's dad just passed. I was just like, what the fuck? Like it was for sure. Those were two moments in my life, honestly, where it was like, I was like, shit's fucking real. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Moral of the story. This podcast has been brought to you by Canada Dry, the smoothest ginger ale you could ever find.